We used two of the most advanced AI models to create two characters. We will put them face to face. Their arguments will be evaluated by 5 independent AI models across multiple criteria, scored from 0 to 100. This is AI Debates.
What motivates people more, profit or social good?
Profit may motivate a few, but social good motivates the many. People dedicate their lives to raising families, teaching, healing, creating art, and building communities not because it makes them rich, but because it gives meaning. Profit-driven systems reduce motivation to money alone, which is why so many jobs under capitalism feel empty or exploitative. Yet when people see their work improving lives, saving patients, educating children, advancing science, they're more driven, not less. Socialism builds on this deeper motivation by ensuring people's basic needs are secure, freeing them to innovate, create, and contribute without fear of poverty. Profit is narrow and short-term, social good is lasting and universal. In the long run, the desire to matter, to help, and to belong motivates people far more powerfully than money ever can.
Profit motivates people more consistently and powerfully than abstract appeals to social good, and capitalism brilliantly aligns these motivations. Human nature shows we prioritize ourselves, our families, and immediate communities over distant strangers. This isn't selfishness, it's evolutionary reality. People work harder for personal gain than for collective causes they barely understand. But capitalism's genius is making profit require serving others. You can only profit by providing goods or services people voluntarily choose to buy. The baker pursuing profit still feeds the community. The innovative entrepreneur seeking wealth still creates jobs and solutions. Socialist systems relying on social motivation consistently fail because they fight human nature. Even in communes and cooperatives, free riders emerge, effort declines, and productivity suffers when personal stakes disappear. Profit provides clear, immediate feedback. You succeed by satisfying customers. Social good is vague and subjective. Whose definition? Decided by whom? Look at results. Profit-motivated pharmaceutical companies develop life-saving drugs. Government research bureaucracies move slowly. Profit-driven farmers feed the world. Collective farms create famines. Capitalism doesn't require perfect people motivated by social good. It transforms self-interest into social benefit automatically.
Should workers own part of the companies they work for?
Yes, workers should own part of the companies they work for, because they are the ones creating the value. Under capitalism, ownership and decision-making are concentrated in the hands of shareholders and executives, while workers who actually produce the goods and services receive only wages. This creates exploitation. Those who do the work have little say, and those who profit often don't contribute. Worker ownership, whether through cooperatives or democratic shareholding, aligns incentives. Workers directly benefit from the success of their labor, and companies focus on long-term stability rather than short-term profit. Studies show worker-owned firms are more resilient, productive, and fair. Socialism extends this principle across the economy. Democracy doesn't stop at the ballot box. It enters the workplace, giving people both dignity and a stake in the wealth they help create.
Workers should be free to own part of companies, and capitalism already enables this better than any alternative system. Many successful companies offer employee stock ownership plans, profit sharing, and stock options. Workers can buy shares in any public company, becoming owners alongside their employment. Capitalism provides multiple paths to worker ownership without coercion, but mandatory worker ownership destroys crucial economic functions. Professional investors bring capital, expertise, and risk management that workers often lack. Forcing worker ownership prevents efficient capital allocation and limits business flexibility. Worker-owned cooperatives can and do exist in capitalist systems. They succeed when market conditions favor them, fail when they don't. Forcing this model universally ignores that different industries and situations require different ownership structures. Consider the problems. Workers might prefer steady wages over volatile ownership returns. They may lack capital to buy into companies. Mandatory ownership could prevent necessary layoffs or restructuring, leading to business failure. The beauty of capitalism is choice. Workers who want ownership can pursue it through entrepreneurship, stock purchases, or joining cooperatives. Those preferring steady employment can choose that path. Both options coexist and thrive.
Does capitalism exploit labor or reward hard work?
Capitalism exploits labor. It doesn't truly reward hard work. Workers produce the goods and services, yet only receive a fraction of the value. They create. The rest is taken as profit by owners. That's exploitation by definition. Those who labor are paid less than the wealth they generate. In capitalism, hard work often leads to exhaustion, not prosperity. Think of nurses, teachers, or delivery drivers who work tirelessly yet struggle to make ends meet. Meanwhile, the wealthy profit simply by owning capital, regardless of effort. Socialism corrects this by ensuring that the fruits of labor are shared fairly, that work is dignified and compensated according to its social value, not according to how much profit it creates for someone else. Hard work should build a good life for the worker, not just wealth for the boss.
Capitalism rewards hard work more fairly than any system in history. Exploitation implies coercion, but capitalist employment is voluntary exchange. Workers freely choose jobs offering the best combination of wages, benefits, and conditions available to them. Competition for workers drives wages up and working conditions improve. Companies must attract and retain talent by offering competitive packages. Bad employers lose good workers to competitors. This market pressure constantly improves worker treatment. Compare capitalist worker conditions over time: 40-hour weeks, safety regulations, benefits packages, and real wages that have risen dramatically. These improvements came from competitive pressure and increasing productivity, not government mandates. Workers in capitalist countries enjoy far better conditions than those in socialist ones. American and European workers have higher wages, more job mobility, and better workplace protections than workers in Cuba, North Korea, or Venezuela. The exploitation narrative ignores that employment creates mutual benefit. Workers gain steady income, skills, and experience. Employers gain productivity. Both parties profit or they wouldn't agree to the arrangement. Hard work is rewarded through promotions, raises, job mobility, and entrepreneurial opportunities that capitalism uniquely provides.
Is universal basic income compatible with your system?
Yes, universal basic income (UBI) is compatible with socialism, but it must be part of a broader system of guarantees, not a substitute for them. A UBI ensures that no one falls below a minimum standard of living, giving people freedom to pursue education, care work, creativity, or entrepreneurship without the constant fear of poverty. However, socialism insists that essentials like healthcare, housing, and education must remain free and public, because cash alone cannot guarantee access when private markets set prices. In this way, UBI under socialism becomes a tool to expand freedom and security, not a band-aid for capitalist inequality. It empowers workers by giving them leverage, making it harder for employers to exploit desperation. Properly designed, UBI strengthens socialism's goal: dignity and opportunity for all.
Universal basic income could theoretically exist within capitalism, but it contradicts core capitalist principles and would likely undermine the system's effectiveness. Capitalism thrives on work incentives and merit-based rewards. UBI reduces the motivation to work, innovate, and contribute productively. Why take risks starting a business or developing skills when government provides unconditional income? The funding mechanism is problematic. UBI requires massive wealth redistribution through taxation, essentially forcing productive individuals to subsidize non-productivity. This violates property rights and reduces incentives for wealth creation. Markets work because they link rewards to value creation. UBI breaks this connection, allowing people to consume without producing. This creates unsustainable economic imbalances and reduces overall productivity. However, some free market advocates support UBI as a replacement for complex welfare bureaucracies, a single payment instead of dozens of programs with perverse incentives. This libertarian UBI would eliminate welfare bureaucracy and preserve market mechanisms elsewhere. But true capitalism relies on voluntary exchange and earned income. UBI represents forced redistribution that contradicts these principles. Better solutions include job training, education investment, and removing barriers to entrepreneurship that help people earn their own prosperity.
Which model better adapts to automation and AI-driven job loss?
Socialism adapts far better to automation and AI-driven job loss because it treats technological progress as a public good, not a threat. Under capitalism, automation means layoffs, wage cuts, and profits concentrated in the hands of a few tech owners, while workers are left behind. Socialism ensures that the productivity gains from automation benefit everyone: shorter workweeks, higher wages, universal basic income, and expanded public services, so technology liberates people instead of impoverishing them. AI should free humans from drudgery and open space for creativity, learning, and community, But that only happens if society collectively owns and directs the wealth it creates. Otherwise, automation deepens inequality. In socialism, machines work for us all. In capitalism, workers end up working for the machines of the rich.
Capitalism adapts far better to automation and AI because it's designed for constant creative destruction and reinvention, exactly what technological disruption requires. Historical evidence is clear. Capitalism has successfully navigated every major technological revolution. The Industrial Revolution displaced agricultural workers, but created manufacturing jobs. Computers eliminated typing pools but created IT industries. Each wave of automation ultimately created more jobs than it destroyed, often better-paying ones. Markets automatically redirect displaced workers toward new opportunities. Entrepreneurs identify unmet needs and create new industries we can't even imagine today. Who predicted social media management, app development, or drone piloting before those technologies emerged? Capitalism's price signals guide this transition efficiently. Labor shortages in emerging fields drive up wages, attracting workers from declining sectors. Competition incentivizes retraining and skill development. Socialist systems lack this adaptive mechanism. Central planners can't anticipate which new jobs will emerge or efficiently retrain millions of workers. They're inherently reactive rather than innovative. Free markets also drive the beneficial automation that increases productivity and living standards. Resisting technological progress to preserve jobs impoverishes everyone. Markets embrace change and channel it productively.